Hey guys, welcome to another Visionary Male Leaders Live. I'm Dimitri Wakuf, co-author in the book and leadership coach, together with Sarah Bellorini, the heart, the leader, the engine, the editor of the project. So many names for her. We can keep going with that, but I'm gonna go now to Tassos, and who
And
is
try
our
and pronounce his
co-author?
name.
Yeah,
Please say my name in
Tassos,
full. I would love that
Tassos
to hear.
Stavropoulos, Tassos
Perfect. I
Stavropoulos.
love it. I love it.
Right? He's here
Bravo.
Yes.
with us. He's a co-author in the book. I'm so excited to dive into his chapter, which is we talk about empathy and how you can lead yourself. But first, I'm gonna give the word to Sarah, who is gonna give us a little bit more information. Why she decided to ask this Greek Apollon guy to come here and to really give his wisdom in the book.
Thank you, Dimmy. Hey, Tassos. Thank you so much for joining us. And hi to everybody who's watching. Thank you so much for joining us. Excuse me. So I met Tassos through a mutual friend. And the first time that I spoke to Tassos, it was like an energy blast of good energy. Excuse me. And then we got talking, and after hearing about his very impressive 20-year corporate career and the fact that he's had a very kind of analytical background as an engineer. So he's been in a very kind of masculine environment. He's been faced and with the toxic masculine in that environment. And through empathy, he has managed to lead himself and lead his team out of a really, really tricky situation. And when I heard that story, I just knew that Tassos's vision, his values, excuse me, everything that he stands for in the world as a male leader was like so aligned with my vision and values and what we're actually wanting to communicate in this book. So Tassos, thank you so much for being a part of this, and we're so looking forward to hearing more
Thank you so
from
much
you.
too for inviting me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you, Tassos, for being here. And now it's your turn to share with us what was your motivation to be part of the book and to really. Your chapter is so great. Time to understand how actually you are the reason for as a leader to create an environment. You're the person who create the environment which people can really be not only productive but also happy and fulfilled with what they do. So share it with us. Why did you decide to be part of the book?
First of all, thank you so much, Dimi, for inviting me in this wonderful space here together with you and Sarah. So there were three reasons for me that I wanted to get into this project and this book. The first had to do with my journey. So the book title and the content and the values reminded me of my journey and my wake-up call that led to me remembering who I truly am deep inside. So the first reason had to do with myself and my journey. The second reason had to do with something that was over and above myself, because eventually it's not about us, isn't it? It was, just getting out there, leaving our message to the world for some more integrated and more inclusive kind of leadership, and just offer this helping hand and this message that we hope that will be of value for other people in their own leadership journeys. And the third reason had to do with Sarah, because Sarah already said it before. It was an energy blast. I would call it energetical alignment. So we were so aligned energetically, and it was as if I spoke to a friend that I knew for many years. So from whichever way I saw it, my journey, the message in the world, and the person that I had that was introducing this to me, it was an amazing experience. So I decided immediately to join. I didn't have a second thought about it. I didn't have to use my analytical skills for that, Sarah. It was an intuitive decision.
Lovely, man. Tell us more about you. Who you are.
Well,
With Tassos Stavropoulos.
well, I'm an ordinary man taking part in this incredible team with this incredible woman in this lovely book. Okay, let's be honest. Who I am. I'm totally awesome and fabulous, and so are you, Dimi, and so is Sarah, and so is everybody. So I think that I am and we are all unique energy forces that create our lives and have the ability to co-create the lives of the people around us, consciously or even unconsciously. So this is the philosophical part of who I am and who we are. Now, who is Tassos Stavropoulos? I'm Greek, as my long Greek name can indicate. I'm an engineer, as Sarah already mentioned. I have worked for more than 20 years in multinational companies, in various managerial positions, training people, developing processes, creating fantastic teams, bringing results. 2 years ago, something changed because, as Tom Hanks say in Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you will get. So something changed inside of me and, helped me understand who I truly am and what I want to do in life. So I decided to change course completely and to be here with you now, because from that time I started studying coaching. I finished 2 coaching schools, one Greek and one known school in the United States. And I started my journey as a coach.
Was it some life experience which happened for you, or was it like some spiritual call you received in order to change course?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dimi. Basically, no, I wouldn't say it was some spiritual curiosity. Spiritual curiosity came after that. The reason was that in the last years of my corporate career, I was in conflict with my own values. So this, made me, I didn't feel who I really was. I felt like I was constricted, and I felt that I couldn't express myself in the way that I wanted. I wasn't aligned with myself, and I wasn't aligned with the company in the way that it was operating. So this was the reason that I decided to change course and do something completely different that would speak to my soul, my heart, and my mind, and make me help me become aligned with who I truly am.
Could I just jump in here? Yeah. I love that answer, Tassos, that it's this thing about values, isn't it? And so often people aren't aware of their values and they join companies that they're not aligned with values-wise. And it's all about the external stuff, isn't it? Like, the money and the title and the prestige and all of this. And for me, it's very interesting that it wasn't the thing that happened before that, because you did have this conflict in your team as a leader, didn't you? And so many people would have used that as the reason to leave, and you didn't. And this is what I love so much about you and your story and who you are at your core, because even without all the coaching skills that you now have, you followed your intuition, didn't you? And you changed yourself and you changed your team, and then you decided to have your career change. And for me, that is true leadership. So I just wanted to kind of share that with the people that are watching, and also to really see you and acknowledge you for doing that, because so many people don't. So many people, it's so easy to blame the external environment, isn't it? But you looked inside, you did something really different. And to me, this is visionary leadership. You felt like you knew that there was a different way, and you went on a quest to find that way. And and it was through other people, men in your company, one or two particular men, that you were able to carve a different pathway through. And I just think this is such a valuable message for people who are in organizations, because this is where I really feel like you can land your experience and your knowledge, because you've had that experience in that corporate environment that can be very, very toxic, can't it? And when we talk about toxicity, it can be called, toxic masculine. That's not specifically for men. This is women and men. It's not a gender specific thing. So I'm curious to know about what you could share with the people watching who are in a toxic environment, who haven't gone off and done loads of coaching and loads of work. Like what could they start to do differently potentially?
Well, that's thank you very much for what you said, first of all, and that's a great question. I just would like to clarify that the environment, I wouldn't call it as toxic. I would say, because, we tend to put labels very easily in our times, and we tend to put labels, we tend to blame each other, and we tend to focus on external factors rather than diving into ourselves. So just to clarify this, the reason that I decided to live because I was in conflict with my values doesn't mean that I was right and somebody else was wrong, or the other way around. It was just that eventually everybody does, their best with the best intentions according to what they have. And it's not about right or wrong, good or bad. It's just, about being different. So I just felt that I was not aligned with my values as a person. And this for me, because these are the values that are the compass for me and for my life. This was the reason that I left, but I wouldn't call this environment toxic. It was just, let's say, it's as if you are with somebody, with your spouse, with your friend, with your colleagues, and you're in a journey together, and at a certain point in your life you evolve and they evolve, and you might get closer together, be completely aligned, or you might have different, let's say, values and visions. So in this case, it's better for everybody, to follow their own journeys. Now, concerning your question, first, the first thing that I would say to somebody that would tell me that he's in a toxic environment, I would ask them to ask how would they define this toxic. Okay, because toxic is something, I can call it a label, but how can you define toxic? And eventually, whatever it is, in the environment outside of us. What I would tell them was that the message that I would give them was to look inside, to slow down, first of all, because we do so many things, and we all live in very demanding environments with very many challenges in our lives, most of them out of our control. Okay, so sometimes we have this autopilot mode. We do things because we are conditioned to do these things because they have become a habit, and oftentimes these things do not serve us. So slowing down, connecting with our own selves, and start to think inside out rather than outside in, because we eventually have all the answers inside, and we can do whatever we want in life, irrespective of the external environments. Even in a turbulent environment, by looking inside, and I would say that it is even more important to look inside in a turbulent environment. We can find ourselves, and we can find our compass, and ask ourselves, what do we want in life? What are our values? how can we respond in a different way? How can our thoughts, our words, and our actions create peace? How can we be kind and respectful to others? And of course, if we do these things and we are in a really toxic environment that still nothing changes, because we are energy forces, as I said in the beginning. So if we are kind and respectful to others, if we are full of love and compassion and empathy, then we change their energy to the good, and there's a virtuous circle that comes. But in the case that somebody is in a truly toxic environment, then they should do what their heart and soul tells them, and follow their heart and soul. Actually,
Absolutely.
This can be a different path in their life.
Absolutely, Tassos. I mean, that's so beautiful how you explained, how we can actually live from this place of empathy and love and compassion, and helping people really to, as a leader, to live from this place. I have a question around the book. First of all, a lot of leaders nowadays, they say like, okay, we know about this empathy, compassion, understanding. Sounds great, but how is that going to help us as leaders to lead a team to get better results, right? When you go about results-oriented leaders, the question here is how the book, because the book is about integration of feminine and masculine, how to integrate empathy, compassion, and understanding with the goal orientation of the masculine part. How is that practical for leaders nowadays?
That's a great question. Would you mind if I just say a few words about what is empathy, just to clarify what empathy is? So empathy is basically about human connection with other people. And how can we connect with other people? We just don't press a button and we say we're connected on and off. We want to listen to the other people with the intent to understand, to see the world from their own glasses, and walk their life from their own shoes. The prerequisite is that we respect people, because everybody, have their own unique journeys, and they're doing the best that they can with what they have. Now, respecting people and empathizing with them does not mean that you compromise your values in order to endorse theirs. It doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they say. It just means that you're open and spacious, and you allow whatever they have to say to come to you, but you peel off all the layers of judgment that you have. So you look at them as an observer, and following this, allowing yourself to be open and spacious, you create the environment and a safe space for them to express themselves. And eventually you acknowledge and validate their feelings, whatever they are, because it doesn't matter if their feelings are normal to you, but they're normal to them. So by creating this safe space, acknowledging and validating their feelings, and being open and receptive, and allowing more things to come, you create this safe space for their self-expression. And this, of course, it doesn't happen in a moment, but this is a journey, and eventually it opens them up, and it allows them to create the conditions where they can be their natural best. So you create, through empathy, the conditions through which the people that you have close to you will express themselves freely, and will be themselves, and will be at their natural best, at their organic best.
You give this, I would just touch upon this point you shared, that empathy is not like you are always agreeing with the person and you are just, giving the chance the person to do whatever they want, but it's about giving them the space to express themselves. So it's a very important point for me, because people don't get that, and that's why they are staying away from that. Yesterday I was reading exactly an example of that you need to be strong, you need to be tough in order to, you need to be really even criticizing a lot in order to get out of people. That was an article which I read. So when people say, so what we want to say to these people, how empathy actually is not like just like gently working with people, but helping them actually to express more of what they have, so that they can get better results.
Well, because Dimi, when you create this safe space and you acknowledge and validate others' feelings, and you see the world through their glasses, you create a climate of trust. Okay, you demonstrate that you care, and you create a climate of trust. And this, together with the fact that you are open, because if you are not open and you criticize and you judge, then automatically you create a defense mechanism by the other person that you have in front of you. So you don't want to judge. You just want to acknowledge their feelings and create this space where they can express themselves and create this climate of trust where they can be themselves. And in this way, this will lead them to be naturally who they want to be, without having the fear of being criticized and judged, because they feel that they're in a safer environment that they love working at. Or if they don't, that's great. Let's discuss about it and let's see what can we do to improve this. So,
and they have already they have already someone who is judging in their head all the time, so it's enough for them to have that, so that they have the space.
We are all human beings and we all judge, and it's normal. It's not to judge ourselves. I used to be a very strict judge of myself, and I used to have a lot of demands of the people that were close to me, especially my family and my friends and the people that are closer to me. We all judge. So this is why I said that empathy, you need also to get a divorce from your own thoughts and your own experiences, because you don't want to compare what the other person is saying with your experiences in your life, because everybody is unique. Everybody is unique. You just want to respect their journey, what they have come through, and just hold a safe space for them and acknowledge them. And this creates the climate of trust that allows you to work together and eventually allows you all to thrive, because you can express yourself freely and you can be in a team of people that understands you and care for you and collaborate with you truly, because one helps the other, and everybody is working for the common good and the good of the team.
And there also, this is a place where everyone can be honest and candid with each other, so you can actually grow from that experience as well, right? But when it comes from a place of love and compassion, not from a place of judgment and comparison, then it's completely different message. Maybe it can be the same message, but it's coming from a different place. And then when it's coming from a different place, it's of course taken a different way and implemented in a different way. So I wanted to, you started talking about your chapter anyways, about empathy, and which is a big part of your chapter. But do you want to share with us what is the main message which your chapter conveys?
Well, the main message, I think, would be, for the people that read the chapter, is that slow down, first of all. Slow down, because as we said before, we are all in challenging environments. We live in challenging times. We have a lot of pressure in our house, at our work. So we don't want to add noise to that. We just need to slow down and connect to ourselves. And we can do this in various ways. I mean, we can have a discussion with ourselves, a chat with ourselves. We can have a chat, and go for a beer with a friend. We can do it virtually now if we don't have the opportunity to go drink a beer outside. But how often do we have this chat, this internal chat with ourselves? So, it's an opportunity to slow down and have a discussion with ourselves. What is it that we really want? What makes us tick? If something we don't like, how can we respond in a different way? How can we see it as an opportunity? Because eventually everybody in our lives is a teacher and student. And all the experiences, however difficult they are, if we look at them from the lens of what do I have to learn, we can always find good things, and we can also always find things to learn from that and evolve. So as a message, I would say slow down. This would help you not only do what you're doing in a well and proper way, but it will help you take care of your mind also, and it will help you improve your state of mind. And I would say, hear more, see more, feel more, use your senses, love more, empathy, like compassion, like vulnerability, are all, love, parts of love. They come from a space of love, not from a space of fear. Love more, illuminate more, and do less. And don't worry about the how. Just do what makes you tick and what your soul and heart tells you, and be yourself eventually.
So Tassos, you said you want to give this space to yourself and have this conversation. So how do you do it for yourself? Can you give an example of how you give this space to yourself?
Yes, that's a good question. So there are different ways to give this space to yourself. You can do it, for example, by taking a walk, doing something that you love. I mean, if you love to go walk down the street, or do some jogging, or do some gym, or whatever, do it. Whatever makes you, whatever you love, and it helps you to get out of the noise, let's say, and get into yourself. Exercise, by the way, is one way, because it helps us. There are several studies that have shown that not only instantly, but also in the long run, if it becomes a habit, help us become more optimistic and use this zoom out vision of seeing the bright side and the bigger picture, and being more calm. Another thing is meditation. And meditation can have different forms. I mean, you don't have to lock yourself in a room for 2 hours. You may just stand still, plant your feet on the ground, spine still, close your eyes, and just do a scanning of your body, and just sense, think of something, and just feel your body, scan from top to bottom, and see how you feel in different parts of your body. You can do this, for 2 minutes, 2 or 3 times per day, or you can just sit still and observe. Use your senses. Go out, and if you're close to nature, just close your eyes and listen to the noises. Listen to the birds singing. Listen to to whatever. Even if you're in a city, just listen. Be grateful for yourself. Just think of things that you're grateful for. Where you were 10 years ago, where you were 5 years ago, where have you been now? For sure, there is an evolving, and there are many things that you can find that you're grateful for. So there are many ways of having this discussion with yourself, and of creating this space that eventually, the more you do it, the more it becomes a healthy habit, and it allows you to become calm and alert at the same time. So it's what we call in meditation restful alertness, because studies have shown that when we meditate, the blood flow from the amygdala is less, and the blood flow in the cortex is more. So what the amygdala does is that usually is the way that we react, and usually is when we react to stress and fear. So when the blood flow through the amygdala is less, we don't react, we don't respond, but then the flow in our cortex is more, so it means that we are alert. So it means that when we're into ourselves, we can listen to everything, we can feel ourselves, we can listen to the noises, but we are calm. We are alert and calm at the same time. And then we can transfer this and our intent to our daily lives.
Mm.
And another trick something that works out and people can do when they're feeling stressed is to disrupt this stressful pattern. We have an ally, which is our smile. It's just below our nose. It's always there. So, even if we are in a very stressful situation, if we smile, the body posture creates, because body has our bodies have our own intelligence. So the body posture creates a positive feeling. So just a smile can break the stressful pattern. Or just saying, wow, how fabulous, what great experience do I have right now? And this, just saying this, full of joy, disrupts the pattern and you start thinking in a different perspective.
Absolutely, Tassos. Thank you for the message you are sending to us through your chapter and through your coaching practice, and just throughout your being, which is yesterday I was talking with Bodhi who talks about presence, that our presence, our being is what is the most important, and when we just translate it everywhere, because this is who we are, and this actually creates our life. So before we go, the last message you can give us on the visionary leaders, what do you want to leave them with?
So first of all, I would like to say on what you said about presence and body, you're so right. And eventually, this is why we're called human beings. Otherwise, we would be human doings. The message I would give is, you mean the message of the book?
No, you can just share with the visionary leaders. What do you want to leave them from this conversation? Do you want to share something from your chapter? Do you want to share some general message how then they can?
Well, some general message, for the visionary leaders. Okay.
Yeah.
What is amazing is that as we said throughout this wonderful discussion, we are all energetic energy forces and unique human beings. And here we have a diverse team from different countries, different continents, different cultures, different backgrounds, from different walks of life, at different ages, and the message is one. So the message is that let's break this disrupt this separation mentality and lead in a different way, in a more integrated way, as Sarah very nicely says, in a more inclusive way, and offer this to the world around us. And this is a blend of different ideas from different people, and then anybody can pick whatever they want. And I'm sure that they will find something that they will resonate with. And I truly hope that people that listen to us will be able to use this or use it as a starting point to become the leaders of their lives.
Yeah, thank you, Tassos. Thank you, Sarah, for being again here with us.
Thank you, Dimi. And thank you so much, Tassos. Just really so very wonderful to hear you in a very grounded way. I can tell that you walk your talk. And I really, really hope that the people who are watching can feel that as well. Because it's one thing talking about things like the philosophy and the concepts, and it's a totally different thing to be able to bring them alive and bring them into your life and to have, sustainable transformational change that then you can create sustainable change within, businesses and lives. And that's a whole other conversation. Because there actually is a massive gap between people who they want to do it, they understand the philosophy, they understand that they have to change, but it's this gap between it's that how do I do that, and you've given some, they may sound really simple, but they're so effective. And I think this is the thing, the human brain is always looking for the complex way out, isn't it? And when we just acknowledge that you know, you've shared lots of like really tangible, practical, applicable actions. And there's so much more in your chapter and the whole book, as you said. So yeah, thank you so much again, Tassos, for your wisdom and your experience and your energy.
Thank you also so much for this wonderful conversation and this wonderful opportunity that we all had to express ourselves through this amazing team of fantastic people and an amazing and awesome female leader like Sarah.
Bless you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you again, Dimi, for holding the space and making this all possible. Deepest gratitude to you.
Let's leave this conversation with lots of gratitude in our hearts. And I wish you a lovely day.
Yeah, lots of love.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.